you are being fed from Western media that it's like this and that and it's awful and...
Today we're joined by Fredrik, a Senior Aviation Advisor with over 30 years of experience in the ground handling industry. He shares his deep insights about the Middle East, flying tips and tricks, and how he balances the aviation career with an e-commerce business. So if you want to know what it's like to live and work in the Middle East, and how to fly like a pro, welcome on board. I'm Jonatan, a Swedish software engineer and entrepreneur. Let's begin. You've been going a lot to Middle East. You have your partners there?
Yeah, we have partners there. Actually, it started back in 2018, pre-pandemic. An old colleague of mine called me and asked me if I wanted to join him on a task in Oman, which is on the east side of the Arabic Peninsula. Quite a small country, but also an oil and natural gas nation. So I went there. I stayed for like 6 months, something like that. So.
Okay, wow, long time.
Yeah. We lived there like a team of expats in Muscat, Oman for 6 months. I had never been in the Middle East actually before.
This was the first time you went to the Middle East?
Actually, I really love Oman. I mean, this is like an Islam region, of course, a Muslim region. And the Omanis, they practice the oldest art or form of Islam. But the oldest art of Islam is the most liberal one.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very different from Saudi, for instance, or other Arabic nations. Development within the Middle East now, it's so rapidly, they are transition as well into maybe not Western model, but it's getting more like something in between.
You've been also to Saudi Arabia and Kuwait.
Kuwait, we have a partner in Kuwait, but the operations we are setting up will mainly be in Saudi Arabia. It's the biggest nation within the Middle East. I mean, they are close to 40 million. And of course they have the oil and gas, but they are also transitioning now into other businesses. And tourism, for instance. They are building such amazing things in that country at the moment.
Yeah. Very grand visions and stuff. Yeah. What's it actually like to be in Saudi Arabia these days, 2024?
I was quite surprised because you are being fed from Western media that it's like this and that and it's awful and I'm not taking part in this. I'm not supporting or criticizing. I'm more or less, as a Swede, we are known to be quite flexible. I mean, we apply to the local, but when I talk to people there and also other nationalities within the Middle East that are going to Saudi Arabia, there are so many things happening with the culture, with the change. You see young people, of course, they dress in a different way. But the thing, what you see is, it doesn't differ that much actually from here.
Okay.
No,
that's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. There's also so many expats, so I mean, it's a mix of people like we have. One major difference, I would say, when you're in the Middle East, I mean, you really feel safe. And it doesn't matter if you walk the streets of Dubai or Kuwait City or Jeddah or Riyadh or wherever you go, Abu Dhabi, people are very respectful. Like in Saudi, which is, I have friends who lives there, and they are so amazed because the hospitality is, they are so friendly. I mean, they are proud of the country, but they are also very welcoming, and they want to, I mean, invite you to their home. They want to invite you for dinner. They want to listen and see what you are, where you're from, and the culture, and so they are very interested. It's a lovely. It's
a great area of the world.
It is.
You can recommend visits.
I think that more people need to go there. Yeah. It's better to create your own opinion.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is to go there.
Any specific place?
Muscat, of course, is a favorite since I lived there for quite some time. But I mean, Jeddah is beautiful. Riyadh is very chaotic. Imagine a city that is growing rapidly. The majority of the cranes in the world are set in Riyadh. They build new airports, they build arenas, they build hotels, they build houses and whatever.
They want to compete with Dubai, I hear.
I think they will pass by actually. I mean,
Oh, wow.
it's amazing. In the middle of the Arabic Peninsula, it's about 5,000, 6,000 kilometers to the coast of the Arabic Sea or to the Red Sea. And in the middle of the desert, there are 8 million people. It's like a New York in the desert. That you have to see. You really need to see it.
In person.
Yeah, traffic is crazy. And Uber is the thing.
Okay. For anyone that would like to have an international career, is there any advice?
No, but I think that you have to be open-minded and of course contacts. I mean, you need to hook up somewhere.
Networking with the right people.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if you look at the Middle East, I mean, there are so many expats working there. When you stay there for long, either you live in a hotel or like a long-term, long stay, or a compound, as they call it.
Right.
Then there are like expat communities. So many activities.
But you've been able to network with both locals and expats.
Yeah.
So how do you meet the locals? Is it through your work?
Yeah, it's through work. Yeah.
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 Okay.
But they are also quite. I mean, in Saudi, I mean, you can sit in a restaurant. If I'm there on my own, which happens now and then, quite often. Then, if I sit in a restaurant, then people can start talking. A bit like Americans, actually.
Oh, really?
They start talking.
They're a bit extrovert in the
Yeah.
That's nice.
Not like Sweden.
No,
because
here we're super
you don't look at anyone. You don't talk to anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're too we're a bit odd, you and me, in a way. Then to be Swedish.
Yeah.
We like going abroad and being a bit more extrovert.
Yeah.
So that also helps if you want to build an international career, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You travel a lot, you fly a lot. I'm just curious if you have any advice and tricks when you fly. Do you collect bonus points or something?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it could be good to stick to one airline alliance.
And that's like a group of airline companies that
so
work
for
together?
instance, if you choose to fly with Qatar, for instance, Qatar Airways, then they are a member of the One World Alliance. And One World is a number, I don't know, maybe 10, 12, 13 airlines or something like that. And then you collect your bonus points, for instance. I mean, if you become like a gold member, then you can buy the cheapest ticket flying to Bangkok, for instance. You buy the cheapest ticket, which is good enough for the flight. I mean, it's 10, 12 hours. You can still use like the fast track in security, which is highly appreciated.
Sure.
Because you want to process quickly. You can check in at the business class. You can go to the lounge. You don't have to spend, I don't know, $50 on a meal. So that's good. But then again, it's hard to stick to. For my sake, I'm more or less tied to 2 different alliances.
Okay.
So it's either One World or Star Alliance. I would say that would cover the world for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a really good recommendation, I think. If you can stick to 1 or 2 like that.
Make sure to sign up for the loyalty program. And I mean, and then if you fly Qatar or if you fly British Airways, it doesn't matter because it goes into your account since they are the members of the same alliance.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's really good.
So apart from the aviation industry, I know you also run your own e-commerce online store.
Oh yes, that's it. It's more of a hobby.
You're selling a product that eliminates odor, right? It's
Yes,
a spray.
yes, I do, and it's this hydrogen peroxide. So it's for like expensive sneakers or all type of shoes, and it's really good. It's been running for 3 years now, and I mean it sells, but it's not like a world hit. But maybe in the future, because when I don't have that much time.
Sure.
To work with it
you seem
now.
to be busy.
Yeah, but I will.
Do you use Amazon or do you have like your own web shop?
I have my own web shop.
Okay.
So I have in the Nordics and also actually a separate web shop for the DACH countries, Germany, Switzerland and Austria.
How do you handle the shipping and returns and all of that?
I have a fulfillment center here in Uppsala, so everything is automated.
What's the biggest challenge building an e-commerce store, you would say? If someone wants to build an e-commerce store, should they think about?
The marketing.
The marketing?
Yeah, that's a challenge. It's really, really complicated and hard. And of course expensive.
Okay.
You're totally in the hands of Mr. Zuckerberg and those Instagram, Facebook, and also now TikTok, of course.
So you buy paid ads?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, you search words or an SEO optimization
to boost your website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see it gives you leads. It produces great sales, but it's very expensive. No, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. How do you like juggle both this freelancing work in the aviation industry, the e-commerce, and all the traveling? You also have a family. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do you outsource stuff to someone or?
No, actually not. Maybe within my e-commerce, my youngest son helps me out a lot, and my wife helps me as well. She also has her own company, or her own business. So of course it's limited, but I would say, for my wife's sake, since 30 years almost, we are used to live this life. I mean, we don't meet 30 days a month. I travel, and I have been traveling since the kids were small. But I mean, it works for us. The aviation part in my life right now, it's more or less exploding. We have so many projects, and there are new products, more or less, maybe not every week, but every second week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like an innovation boom happening in the aviation scene.
I think so. Yeah, you can say so. It is. I don't know why, but it's also like an effect from the pandemic, because everything stopped, and then they slowly started they started operations again, and now we are back on levels and even above before pre-pandemic, and now. For the future, I mean, people will not travel less. People will travel more. There are more people with money.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at India, for instance, I mean, they have the middle class now. They do the Chinese journey slightly later, but it's hundreds of millions. Yeah, you will never be able to stop it. It's very hard for me to see. Of course, we can use Teams or Zoom or Google Meet, but you have to meet people, you have to travel, and of course, you have this. What's it called, like shame of flying, for instance.
Yes.
You shouldn't spend too much energy on criticizing. Spend the energy in finding solutions.
Yes.
To make it more environmental friendly and so on, which is happening now. So people will not stop traveling. I mean, and as you know, like you told me, you're moving to Bangkok now for a while, and to try that, maybe a year or 2 or 3 or whatever. And but then again, you have to see your family, or close family or relatives, and but this is how it is, and this is how it will look. 10 hours from here, then I can be in my office in Jeddah. That's not. It's 10 hours. I mean, it's like a night's sleep, and maybe a little more. But
it helps us understand each other better, become more connected, and
you can understand different cultures, religions, because I mean that's a major problem today. As we look how it looks in the world now, it's.
Exactly.
No, we need to
come together.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the thoughts with the audience.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Thank you for joining today. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing for more, and have a wonderful day.